Good evening, and welcome back to the Wiccan Forum. I'm Manny.
And I'm Steve, unless we want to trade identities again like we did a couple of episodes ago.
And we're back for part 4. Tonight, Steve did his full moon ritual for July, so I will let him explain a little bit about it.
Tonight's full moon is on the blessing moon. And tonight I had everybody petition the goddess for one blessing.
Now, which goddess did you use?
If you come around to the front of my altar, you will see the lovely Venus arising from the frothy ocean. I used Venus as my goddess and Adonis as my god.
Being that Adonis was Venus's consort.
Yes.
Yes.
They all have consorts. And this is the cauldron spirit I put petitions in the cauldron, and as usual I burnt it outside, but I wanted it to look very oceanic, very frothy, like she was arriving.
Which was a nice touch. And also in the cauldron from
we
from
used
tonight.
the flowers from last year's blessing moon. I believe it was 5/9, in homage to my high priest Robert. We blended the essences of this full moon with that full moon celebration, and we figured this way we'd burn out the past, blow into the future, and just stay right in the present, and everything would just commingle and all the negative energy would be gone.
Which is a good idea.
This is a drawing down the moon candle that I use for full moon rituals. I make the candles myself. This is my trusty Ethame. It actually broke tonight on the trip over here, but it's cool. It would be fitting. It looks like a lobster claw.
Yes, it actually was mentioned by one of our other members tonight that even though it broke, it does look like a lobster here with the 2 claws and the eyes, and the incense sticking out did look like one of the antennae. So,
And someone said that my Ethame looked like a lobster, even though it's not a lobster. It's the green man. Just the way it was laying there. And I have my purple psychic awareness candle. I always use a psychic awareness candle. And since it's a celebration, I put the goddess and the god in margarita glasses. As you can see, we went with the whole beach theme.
which was a nice touch.
And this was what I had used to put the blessing potion in, which I dumped into the cauldron to release all the old. If you look, this is the eastern quarter here. I know it's very psychedelic, but it's supposed to be beach. That's the elemental candle. We did seashells. We did 3 votives. We have the western quarter here. Same thing, all in blue. The sage, and we used anise oil.
For anointing as we were entering the circle. Okay. Now I also wanted to mention that also on your altar you had the 3 candles lit here with the one in the middle. Did you want to explain?
Oh yes. I didn't have room. I was going to also put 3 blue candles to represent the ocean. But these 3 white candles, I have ocean breeze candle in the middle, naturally. And I have the 3 white candles to represent the full moon, the powerful positive energy of the full moon.
And now also in the front of the altar, if you want to just come around, you also have an amethyst crystal.
Yes, I use the amethyst crystal to bring in psychic power, psychic abilities.
Okay.
And this is a piece of wood I found in the middle of the woods. And I said, why is that up in the middle of nowhere, out in the Lake George area on a recent trip? And I said, I just have to incorporate that into tonight's ritual.
Okay, now for tonight's libation you had
M&M cookies and Diet Pepsi
Diet
soda.
Pepsi.
Just because I was going with fun and funky, I wasn't trying to be like totally serious.
But you know what? I do have to say that cookies and soda, they are a very summery, oceany thing that, you know, you're sitting on the beach, you have something, you know, easy.
Well, the reason I use soda or water is because not everyone in Circle drinks. So I don't like to bring alcohol as a libation unless it's really necessary.
See, to me, they're summer foods that you have while
Yes.
you're sitting on the beach looking out at the ocean. So it made sense. So, do you want to explain to us about your besom?
Oh, the besom was made for my November full moon of last year, the snow moon, and I just always use that for full moon rituals. And a chalice I think I had explained once before. The chalice I actually had made with the gargoyle many years ago. So that's a piece that really comes in handy.
And I also want to mention, I do like this bottle. You have the water in there.
Yes.
That was a nice little touch.
Well, that's purple also. Purple seems to be my color. That's something I use to draw in the good energy. Anything else that you wanted to?
Well, I do have to say that after we went outside, after the ritual and burnt the
cauldron
wishes, it was a very nice
fire
look to it. Yes, definitely. The glitter that was in the cauldron spirits, if you can see it here, swishing around a little bit as the fire was burning, it was sparkling.
It was actually shooting sparks.
It
yes.
was, and it gave it a very nice touch. And actually, everything, you know, the wishes from tonight and our wishes from last year, they all went up very nicely. And what are you going to be doing with that now?
I will be putting that in my rose garden at noon tomorrow, probably, to scatter the blessings and good energy. If it was a banishing, I would take it to a crossroads and throw it as far away from me as possible. But since it was asking for blessing, I want it to come into my household as well as everyone else's households. So I would not get rid of that in the crossroads.
Which was good. It was definitely good. Now, also for tonight's blessing, typically, in Wicca, as you know, things are done in threes, and tonight you only had us write down one blessing.
I asked for one blessing, knowing I didn't want us to look like greedy, needy, whiny children. I wanted us to stand tall in front of the goddess's altar and ask for one blessing, knowing as a Wiccan, as I found out recently from my high priestess, Annette, that the goddess would automatically give us the extra 2 blessings so we would have 3 blessings.
Which I definitely think is a good touch. I do think that sometimes, even though we do pay our respects monthly and you know,
you don't want to overwhelm the goddess with our requests constantly.
Exactly.
Give me money, bring me love, do this, do that. You don't want to do that to the goddess. You want to show her reverence and respect.
Exactly. Considering we're not the only people out there having rituals tonight, I'm definitely sure there's other people holding full moon rituals.
Oh, you can feel the energy
also,
in the air.
and everybody's asking for their own thing. So I guess that about covers it.
That's about everything.
We want to thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you next time on the Wiccan Forum.
Thank you. Blessed be.
Blessed be.